Anita, a former adult film actress, has filed a new lawsuit against rapper Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul is facing new sex trafficking allegations, in addition to the multiple lawsuits he already faces for sex trafficking and sexual assault. For more on this, let's bring in attorney Andrew Stoltmann. All right, Stoltmann, it's a Saturday Stoltmann sort of day. I got two stories for you, starting with Diddy. This woman, former porn star Adria English, appears to be the 10th now lawsuit that Diddy is facing. How much trouble is Diddy in?
I think he's in a lot of trouble. I think all these civil lawsuits have provided a roadmap for prosecutors to pursue him. And Griff, I think a grand jury is going to be convened, and I think they are looking at RICO charges against him. As you well know, Griff, RICO charges can carry anywhere from 20 years to a life sentence in federal court, which means you're not getting bail, you're not getting bond, you're going to be locked up for a very long time.
And Andrew, this woman claims that, she was a dancer at a club and was brought to Diddy's white parties and was forced to take drugs and was sex trafficked. And there's a common theme in many of these lawsuits. Do you feel like ultimately it's the cumulative picture that is ultimately going to be trouble for Diddy?
Griff, you nailed it. It's like a tapestry of criminal activity, and that's what prosecutors are looking for, right? They're trying to eviscerate the lone wolf defense, meaning one person says he did all these horrible things. When you have multitudes of people lining up, all making the same or nearly identical allegations, it becomes much more powerful. It convinces the prosecutors that if we take this case to trial, we can win it. It's very powerful.
Well, Diddy has claimed that he is innocent, that he has denied these allegations. We'll see where it goes. All right, before I lose you, I got to get into the other story, and that is I'm going to be watching on Tuesday. We have the trial starting in Alec Baldwin's Rust case, and I'm curious to find out from you how much trouble you think Baldwin may be in when the trial starts Tuesday.
Well, look, I think everybody knows that Alec Baldwin is a hothead, right? He's been arrested 4 times. We remember he got kicked off of the plane. He called his daughter a little pig that one time. He is going to try to sell this jury on a really hard defense. And that defense is basically, I didn't pull the trigger. The gun went off magically. Now, I know Alec Baldwin has been in a lot of movies, and this is a sort of defense that is probably more appropriate for a movie. I think he faces a very large uphill climb. If he's convicted, he gets 18 months in prison. So Houston, he has a problem.
Andrew, one thing that really, and you talk about, the whether or not he pulled this trigger or not, one thing that caught my eye is a statement we can show you from a forensic expert that says this, quote, given the tests, findings, and observations reported here, the trigger had to be pulled or depressed sufficiently to release the fully cocked or retracted hammer of the evidence revolver. You're the attorney, I'm not. How significant is that?
It's devastating. I mean, look, Alec Baldwin is going to have to testify and claim that he did not pull the trigger. So the jury is going to have to determine, in Santa Fe, where a lot of people have guns, is it possible that this gun went off by itself? And, good luck with that. I mean, prosecutors have a 90% conviction rate in New Mexico. I don't think he's going to prevail in this case.
Is there any, if you were the defense attorney for Baldwin, and obviously, as you point out, I think he's got to take the stand, but what would be your advice to him now?
My advice would have been to either A, plea bargain, or B, at least say, look, it was a pure accident, right? I did everything humanly possible to make certain that gun didn't go off. I didn't point it. It was an accident. And I think the jury is much more likely to feel sympathetic towards someone like that instead of someone who gets up there, promises to tell the truth, and then lies through their teeth.
Well, and I asked you, how you would advise it. Baldwin's team, sort of separately, is asking the court to exclude testimony from 2 prosecution firearms experts. Is that likely to succeed?
No. In fact, the judge has made some preliminary rulings that some of these arguments can indeed be made by the prosecutors. I think he's facing an uphill climb. He's kind of grasping at straws. And like I said, remember, cocky, arrogant New Yorkers don't do particularly well in jury trials in New Mexico.
Last question, do New Mexico trials drag on? How long is this going to be in the spotlight?
Now, this is a relatively straightforward case. I think this will take a week, possibly 2 weeks. I think that's it.
Andrew Stoltmann, always glad to have you on Saturday. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Thanks, Griff.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.